He didn't arrive like a meteor. He gathered, season by season, like a tide. Karl Kenneth owed Donnie Bono, Ken to teammates, Bono to the faithful, build a career on craft, composure, and quiet resilience. His story isn't a montage of viral highlights. It's the architecture of a life designed for longevity in a sport that often rewards the loudest. And that's exactly why it lasts. Early life and roots in Iloilo. Ken Bono grew up in Iloilo City, where heat and humidity only sharpened the joy of everyday basketball. The courts weren't perfect, but the habit was. He learned to be comfortable with contact, to take his time in the post, to treat footwork like language, precise, nuanced, unhurried. By high school at Iloilo Central Commercial, he'd outgrown small ponds and small expectations, yet carried the groundedness of home wherever he played. Leaving home for Manila was both risk and rite of passage. At Adamson University, he found the stage and the system to become more than a big body on a block. He became a thinker of angles, a student of spacing, and, eventually, a fulcrum. The breakthrough at Adamson. The UAAP shaped him. Across 4 seasons with the Adamson Soaring Falcons, Bono moved from promising to undeniable. His senior year crystallized everything: timing, touch, leadership, and a scoring arsenal that stretched from soft jump hooks to a face-up mid-range that punished slower bigs. He earned the UAAP Most Valuable Player Award, rare air, and fitting recognition for a player who combined old-school fundamentals with modern efficiency. But the numbers never told the full story. It was the way teammates steadied when he spoke, the way defenses bent when he sealed deep, the way he imposed patience on frantic games. He didn't just produce. He organized the chaos around him. Apprenticeship and entry to the pros. Before the PBA, the Philippine Basketball League gave him a crucible. Tough, physical, littered with national team talents and pros in waiting. Those seasons tightened his habits and tested his instincts. By the 2007 PBA Draft, Bono was more than a collegiate MVP. He was a ready professional with a clear identity as a scoring big who could anchor a half-court offense. Drafted 6th overall by the Alaska Aces, he stepped into a franchise that demanded discipline and rewarded detail. The transition from star to role is where many fade. Bono adjusted. He learned schemes, accepted minutes that changed night to night, and kept his edge. The professional journey. He wore several jerseys, and each taught him something different. With San Miguel, he tasted a championship and learned the relentless standards of a title contender. With Coca-Cola and Barako Bowl, he carried heavier loads and learned the nuances of leadership when the roster around you is shifting and the margin for error is thin. With Meralco, where he spent his longest stretch, he embraced the professionalism of being perpetually ready. Start, spell, space, screen, score, whatever the game demanded. There was also a stint in the ASEAN Basketball League with Bangkok Cobras, a brief but valuable chapter that exposed him to different looks, quicker fours, and the tactical diversity of regional play. Later, he sharpened his game in 3x3, short clocks, wide spaces, brutally honest matchups that reward touch and decision speed. And as the MPBL opened doors for veterans to lead new generations, he became both player and blueprint. This is how you last. The player behind the stat line. Ken Bono's best skill has always been clarity. He knew who he was, a scoring big with soft hands, a sturdy frame, and a methodical pace that forced defenders to live in uncomfortable positions. He wasn't the leap out of the gym type. He was the find the window, seal the hip, hit the shot type. That self-knowledge carried him across teams, styles, and roles without losing his center. Teammates will tell you he's steady. Coaches will tell you he's coachable. Younger players will tell you he's generous with details. Where to set the angle on a screen, how to make space without fouling, how to breathe when the game speeds up. Personal life and values. Off the court, Bono keeps the volume low. He returns to Iloilo whenever he can, not as a celebrity visiting a hometown, but as a son and friend who remembers the names on cracked courts. He's shown up at youth clinics and community games, not for headlines, but because he understands how a single afternoon with a pro can live in a kid's chest for years. He's private, but what peers say is consistent. He's respectful, punctual, and present. He doesn't chase the noise. He invests in the relationships that last longer than a season. Real estate and the long game. Some athletes gamble on flash. Bono tends to favor fundamentals. Real estate, for him, has meant practicality over spectacle. Properties that can be tenanted, locations with durable demand, projects that don't rely on hype cycles to hold value. Think apartments and residential units in areas he knows well, where he can trust the rhythm of occupancy, enough to create a steady floor beneath the volatility of a playing career. This is the same philosophy he applied on the block. Position first, patience second, production third. You don't need to chase what won't hold. You stack what will. Cars in a quiet lane. His approach to cars mirrors his approach to work. Reliable, serviceable, comfortable. Rather than supercars that shout, he gravitates toward vehicles that do the job with minimal drama. An SUV that can handle city stops and provincial drives. A pickup that's practical when visiting properties. A sedan that melts into daily life. Form follows function, and his function is a life that actually works. Daily driver. Reliable SUV for city and provincial trips. Utility. Pickup for travel, hauling, and property runs. Every day. Comfortable sedan for errands and training days. Net worth and earnings. Exact numbers aren't public, but the shape of his financial story is clear. Professional contract across multiple PBA seasons, regional stints, and the MPBL provide the core. Bonuses from championship runs, appearance fees, occasional endorsements, and steady rental income from real estate layer stability on top. It's reasonable to place his net worth in a mid-8-figure peso range, built not from one blockbuster deal, but from many seasons of consistent work and disciplined choices. Primary, professional contracts and incentives. Secondary, real estate rental income. Supplemental, clinics, appearances, endorsements. What matters more than a number is the habit. Live within a plan, invest with a thesis, and let time do what time does for patient people. Legacy and what endures. Ken Bono's legacy isn't just in the championships he touched or the awards with his name on them. It's in the model he offers. He shows that you can be both ambitious and grounded, that you can evolve without becoming unrecognizable to yourself, that you can play a long game in a short attention span world. Younger bigs can watch his tape and learn footwork, but they can also study the quieter film, the choices outside the camera, the systems built off the court. He may never trend for a poster dunk, but he belongs to a rarer class, the pros whose careers read like well-made books, balanced, coherent, complete. That's the power of a steady fire. It doesn't explode. It endures. Thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this inspired you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with a friend.